Welcome back to Watch Dogs. Today we're looking at some of the final side missions that you can acquire by doing some of the collectibles. And we start with the exclusive signature shop mission.
One of our rivals has paid a small fortune for a rare trophy. It is a biometric weapon, one that imprints to its first owner. You, if you move quickly, a man named Michael Orleans will lead you to the prize.
This sounds like a fair trade. I'm in.
So for this mission we need to go and find the smuggler who has got this weapon. So he's by this coffee shop just across here. Whilst we're getting there, we'll talk about some of the other missions in this episode. So I did the majority of the collectibles, the QR codes, the missing persons, arms shipment, human trafficking. There are some I didn't do. Mainly any that were mainly driving and the CTOS breaches, mainly because they just got a bit boring. And I don't grind. That's one thing I've always said I will not do. And because of that, I enjoy collectibles when they're fun. So these ones were all interesting. They had stories behind them, and I enjoyed that. We have found the smuggler. There he is. So we'll talk about what missions we didn't do and what side stuff we didn't do when we do the review. We never planned on platinum this because of the online trophies anyway, so it wasn't that big a deal, but we'll explain it all in the review that we do once we've done the DLC. So we're going to follow this smuggler in the very conspicuous ambulance. You know, he's not going to notice an ambulance driving behind him, and eventually we made it to where he decided to stop. Now this is where I made a slight error. So the smuggler gets out of his car. We are going to try and just hide. Obviously we don't need him to see us. We've tailed him all this way in our ambulance. We don't really want to get caught now. So there he is, walking along. He's going to leave the area where he put his vehicle, which is fine. I then spent the next 20 minutes tailing him until it told me I was leaving the mission area, and I couldn't click why. What I'd failed to notice was we actually have to find the guy inside here. He just led us to here, but he isn't the guy we're looking for. This is the contract target right there. We need to hack his phone, which we've done, and now we know where this weapon is. But I didn't even click any of that to start. It took me a while. We're just going to take this guy out anyway. Creating some bit of noise. I wanted people to come to this area while we run around the other side. It was more create noise, run away, keep them busy. That was my kind of tactic there. But so I wasted a bit of time, which is why we've actually skipped a little bit, mainly just to avoid showing you me following this guy for ages, finding out he was the wrong person. Yeah, that wasn't fun. But as we finish off this signature shop mission, I acquired this mission after buying the DLC. I think it can be bought separately. It's only one mission, and as you'll see, here we are. Here's the weapon. It's a biometric rifle. We'll have a proper look at how it works later on in one of the other missions. It's a pretty good rifle, to be honest. But now we need to escape the area, which is what we're going to do in the van that was conveniently placed there. Off we go. And we're out of the area, and we're just going to park up in the nearest car park and have a quick conversation with DedSec.
It's done.
We trust you'll put the weapon to better use. Oh, and you're welcome.
So that is the signature shop mission complete. All done. And that's just one special mission out of the way. So next, the first collectible we're going to look at is the QR code. So we went around and collected these. They weren't too bad. Some of them pretty tricky to find out the general direction you had to aim the camera at to get them, but they weren't too bad. So we are moving on to the penultimate one, as this will lead on to the final. So we found the camera, perfect view of the QR code. We'll ignore the conversation you get, the actual audio file, it doesn't matter so much. But instead, we're about to receive a phone call.
We've watched you solve every one of our puzzles. Now you know us, and you know Giggles. He is ambitious, but careless. Still, we want to test his skills. Perhaps you are up for the challenge. We'll make it worth your time.
I'm game.
We're sending you his location. Break through his defenses and infect him with this virus.
The final QR code mission then is breaking into Giggles' software and implanting a virus. Now, this breaking into his software is pretty tricky. I'm not going to talk through it, but just look at how long it actually took.
Just need to break into Giggle's system and upload DedSec's virus. This guy's a candidate for DedSec's Elite. This could be tricky.
Giggles stood no chance against you, but we wanted to see how long his defenses could keep you out. He lasted slightly longer than we expected, but you continue to impress us. We are grateful for your assistance, and we are sending you proper compensation. We will be watching.
So there's a QR code, collectibles, missions done. Giggles didn't stand a chance against their hacking eventually. So next we're going to move on to the missing persons. This was a range of bodies you had to find throughout the map. We're going to look at our sixth one, which then will lead us on to the final mission. This was a little bit gruesome, but interesting as well at the same time in terms of what you had to do and why. You won't listen to the audio recording, it's not important, but the next part is.
Yeah. It's you, isn't it? You've been killing these women. All this trouble you went to, leaving these little exhibits for me to find. I'm not impressed. You're just another sick fuck in a city full of them. Nothing special. You just made a mistake. I can track you now. Okay, gotta resist the urge to shoot this guy until I'm sure it's him. I'm looking for someone uneducated, probably a laborer. My hunch is right, he's gonna have some kind of blood disorder, like his victims.
So Aiden seems to have an idea of why or what this guy is.
This guy and get this over with.
And let's just try and see if we can find him. There he is.
This might be our guy. I need to know for sure.
So we're just going to try and get round the corner here and try and see him from a distance. Obviously we don't want to get seen, we don't want to spook the guy. I think we have the right person, we just need to get a decent eye on him. Hiding in the bush. Probably not the way to go for this, but to be fair. But there he is. So he's over there by the fence. Let's keep an eye on him, see what he does.
Hey,
And that's
I
a
want to
woman
talk
that's
to
just
you.
walked past, or went to walk past him.
There's nothing to
Crime
talk
probability's
about.
going up, we've got to go and take him down.
You don't get this.
Choosing
I'm
the right
just
time to
getting
intercept.
started.
Right, we've got to go.
Oh, I'll teach you.
Right, we've saved the girl. He is taken down. Let's find out who he really
All
is.
right, Edgar. Let's see who you are.
Oh no.
This guy wanted somebody to take him down. Must have figured out I was onto him, that he had a private audience. Did he start leaving the bodies where I'd find them? No, I'm giving him too much credit. Edgar was obviously insane.
And that is the missing person sequence of missions finished. Now, I don't quite agree with Aiden's assessment of Edgar being insane, but that's the way the story told it. That is all finished. Now we're going to move on to the Arms Shipment missions. We're going to look at the penultimate shipment first, and then the final mission. And the final mission was probably the hardest side mission collectible we had to do within the game itself. You're going to see why very shortly.
Alright, I think I have enough here. Let me track it back. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa! We hit the mother lode! Are you hearing this?
No.
Here. Listen.
GPS devices inside the guns maps them to several crime scenes. We can even track the angle of every shot. These guys are all over the place. Contracts for theft, espionage, assassination. I don't think the CPD is equipped to deal with something this big.
Holy shit, man. They're talking about actual MIBs here. I'm gonna dig more and see if I can find these guys. Oh, hey!
Hey, find anything?
Only a hotspot for the elite underground organization behind 17% of unsolved crimes in the city. But I don't know if that counts as anything.
Ping me.
Consider yourself pinged.
So now we're going to move on to the final mission. I'm not going to talk through this because this was one that I took a long time to do. We died a lot of times. This is the actual
Yeah,
attempt
these guys
at
have
work.
all the expensive toys. I need to keep my head low if I want to keep it.
What the? Oh, fuck me. Something's going down. Gonna check it out. Be careful! He's not gone. Start looking. Watch yourself. Can't lose him. Not now.
Don't see anything. Gonna move on.
I thought I was a Watch it! Keep looking. Looks clear. I don't see anything. Gonna move on. I'll track him. Don't let him escape. He's inside.
Watch out! I'll cover you!
You got no way out of this. He's closing in. That's right, Chief. Keep running. Go, I'll cover you.
Get covered!
Taking hits. Take him out.
They got backup on the way. I don't have a lot of time to prep for them. I got more incoming. Only got one shot at this. Better make it count.
We can't lose him. Not now. If you don't find him, I'll kill you. Watch yourself. sight. Engage the target now. I was expecting more from you. Yeah, that's right. What the fuck? Can't take us all. Target sighted. Moving in.
Watch out, I'll cover you. Under fire, help me out.
Hey, don't leave me hanging. What happened?
MIBs.
Oh, I knew it. Yes. I think we just did the cops one huge favor, my friend. Though I guess they won't see it that way.
Tobias.
Yeah.
Who's this number?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, done. I'll let you know if I hear anything else.
So that is the final Arms Shipment mission done. Now, I'm not sure if that attempt really showcased how difficult it was, but yes, I died a lot of times trying to get that done. The final bosses were probably the hardest ones to do, and this was the best attempt I had. I was very, very happy to finally have it done. Next, we're going to move on to Human Trafficking. This is a collection of briefcases you have to go round and collect.
That's the last of the bidders. There's one name left, the handler. Joseph Demarco. He hides behind his pristine public reputation, but he's as sick as the rest of them. Let's peek inside Demarco's place and see if he's still here. Hope he hasn't fled Chicago yet.
So here we are, we have to hack into Demarco's apartment after finding the final briefcase and find out where he is and what he's doing. So, getting around to the intrusion point, we can hack into this. This wasn't too big a puzzle, to be honest. Some of these were fairly simple. Once you got to this point, they were just... You had to be a bit careful, but generally, they were fairly simple. That made sense anyway, in that regard. There we go, we're in. Let's see what is going on within his apartment. Now there's police officers in here as well. That's not good. Hack the phone. They're looking like they're moving Demarco. This is the part that didn't actually quite make sense story-wise after we'd finished the rest of the main story, because Quinn obviously is already dead.
Shit, those dirty cops were part of Quinn's auction. Looks like they're going to escort Demarco out of town. I won't let that happen.
As I was saying before Aiden did interrupt, this mission was the one that didn't quite make sense story-wise, timeline-wise. I kind of wish I'd done this sooner, but I didn't know it was involved in that way. They talk about Lucky Quinn, and Lucky Quinn is obviously dead after the final main story mission, or the penultimate main story mission I should say. So yeah, that kind of didn't make sense, but I can understand if you don't do these first. It's the way it works, I suppose. In most games, you don't know what side quests need doing for main story. It doesn't make sense to them. But we are going to try and eliminate Demarco before he escapes. He is in this police vehicle, being escorted by some dirty cops out of the city. My driving is horrendous as usual, as you can see. We need to catch him up. We need to take him out. I'm just trying to see what I've got that could use and help us. We're going to talk more about the handling of the cars in the review when we finish the DLC as well. I don't enjoy the driving. I just find it's really, really awkward. And there's different reasons for that, and we'll have a look at that closer when we get to it. But for this, just trying to catch up. Once we catch up, we're going to try and neutralise and hope something happens. We've managed to use the steam vents from underneath the road. That didn't stop him. That cornering is horrendous, and that is why we're having a little bit of a hard time catching up with him. Done another neutralise there with the traffic lights. Again, didn't stop him. The police cars are not helping. Oh, he did stop. He crashed, and we've run him over. That's one way to put an end to the mission, isn't it? We actually ran over Demarco. So now we need to escape from the place. This, as you can imagine, did take a little bit of time, especially with the helicopter on as well. We're not going to show all of it. We're just going to skip ahead a little bit. And we are finally away from the police. They're searching for us now. Getting to the end of the circle. And this mission is done.
Demarco's dead. Exposed the buyers and shut down the auction. Best of all, Poppy and those girls are free now. I needed this win.
So that is everything that we have finished within Watch Dogs done. We're going to move on to the DLC, so the next episode will be the first episode of Watch Dogs Bad Blood. So look out for that one. If you enjoyed this series, don't forget to subscribe and like on the episodes, it does really help. And once we've finished the DLC, we'll look at doing a review, talk about all the different things we've achieved, what we've left behind. But for this point, Aiden and Watch Dogs is finished.